Alright guys, what's going on? Brian here with my reaction and thoughts on this week's episode of Impact Wrestling. I'm currently watching Impact Wrestling right now. So the opening match of the show was Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary taking on Havoc and Nevaeh. Apparently this was the problem that Taya told Rosemary she was going to help her out with. They wound up picking up the win over Havoc and Nevaeh. As I mentioned before, it seems like this was the problem Rosemary or Taya was going to help Rosemary with, because she wanted Havoc's help, that being Rosemary, to kind of resurrect Father James Mitchell for her wedding to Johnny Bravo. After the match, Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan would attack Rosemary and Taya. Then Havoc and Nevaeh made the save. Then we had a Gallows and Anderson backstage segment where they were talking to what looked to be like security guards, making them laugh. Then the tag team champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, would come up. They would start insulting Gallows and Anderson, and then they would leave, and Gallows and Anderson would continue continuing to make fun of the Machine Guns as they left. So that was it for that. And so yeah, I'll be back with whatever happens next. So yeah, see ya. Alright guys, welcome back to some more of my reaction and thoughts about tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. So, after the break, they had an interview with Deonna Purrazzo, the Knockouts champion, and Kimber Lee. They asked Deonna about Kylie Rae challenging her at Bound for Glory for the Knockouts championship. Deonna basically said that she doesn't care about Kylie's positivity. She's going to break her arm at Bound for Glory. She would then be informed that this Saturday night at Victory Road, she's going to be defending the Knockouts Championship against Susie, Kylie Rae's friend. So that could put a damper or a bump, if you will, in the road to Bound for Glory as far as the Knockouts title match is concerned. You could have Susie defeating Deonna on Saturday night at Victory Road and then defending it against Kylie Rae at Bound for Glory. So that was pretty much it for that. Then in a rematch from last week, Jordynne Grace took on Tenille Dashwood. Last week, Dashwood won over Jordynne Grace. However, tonight was a different story as Jordynne Grace would pick up the victory in a, I thought it was on the same level as their match last week. Somewhat solid, nothing really to complain about. Caleb with a K was in Tenille's corner, and he tried to play a role in the end, but it was not the case, as Jordynne Grace would pick up the win via submission. Then we had an EC3 and Moose segment where Moose was looking all over for EC3, and a guy told him that EC3's locker room was down the hall. Sorry guys if it's a little dark, but Moose went into EC3's locker room and saw somebody sitting there dressed like the EC3, picked him up, turned him around, and was not EC3. The guy, the poor guy, I felt sorry for him because Moose is like getting after him about, man, you look like you work out. And the guy said that he just works there and that he's taking this to HR. So then lights would go on or go out, and EC3 would appear. saying that next week he's inviting Moose to the burning, if you will, of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and he hopes that Moose shows up to pay his respects. It's the right thing to do. So we'll have to see what happens next week. I actually like this rivalry and the way that they've been doing this with EC3 and Moose. It could lead to a match at Bound for Glory. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I will be back with more as far as like recapping what's going on. So yeah, see ya. All right, guys, welcome back to some more recap and thoughts on tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. Right now, before, just a while ago, they showed a Rich Swann video of him rehabbing his injury, or rehabbing from his injury, training to get into shape for Bound for Glory, where he will have a chance to become the world champion when he challenges whomever the Impact World Champion is at that time. And the reason I say that is because this Saturday night, as we found out last week, at Victory Road, it will be Eric Young defending the World Championship against Eddie Edwards. So it's either going to be Eric Young or Eddie Edwards that walks into Bound for Glory as World Champion to defend against Rich Swann. Then they had the Impact flashback moment of the week, which was from Victory Road 2012, where Gail Kim successfully defended her Knockouts Championship against Madison Rayne. And then Heath and Rhino would talk about the success of the infomercial that they had last week, Heath for Impact. And then they would then get beat up by Reno Scum, who would then repossess the wad of cash, or the wad of money, that Heath and Rhino stole from Hernandez a few weeks ago, and they would give the money back to Hernandez. So that was pretty much about it for this part. I will be right back with more. So see ya. Alright guys, welcome back to some more recaps of tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. So far, somewhat of an okay episode this week so far, but there were three segments where Rhino confronted Scott D'Amore, saying that him and Heath just got beat up by Reno Scum, and he wants to know what he's going to do about it. D'Amore told him, listen, we've been friends for a long time. You know that Heath does not work here, but I will do something for you this Saturday at Victory Road. If you can get Heath to sign a waiver, it will be Heath and Rhino facing Reno Scum in a unsanctioned match. So that is a huge match signed for Saturday night at Victory Road on Impact Plus. Then we had the Good Brothers taking on Dez and Wentz of the Rascals. This came about because Dez and Wentz felt disrespected last week by the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows, and Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Gallows and Anderson picked up the win over Dez and Wentz with the Magic Killer. They then would make it very clear that at Bound for Glory, they want the Impact Tag Team Championships. So we will, and then we would have a Brian Myers and Tommy Dreamer segment backstage, where it would lead to a match being made for this Saturday between the two, coming up at Victory Road this Saturday night. So I will be back with more. Impact recap. So see ya. Alright guys, I am back with more. we had the next segment was another match being made for this Saturday night at Victory Road. Jordynne Grace and Tenille Dashwood. This will be the third match in their series. They're both tied 1-1, so that should be huge. Another huge match signed for Saturday night. Then we had in a battle to see who would become Johnny Bravo's best man. It would be Fallah Bahh versus Johnny Swinger. Swinger picked up the win when he used Crazy Steve's monkey to knock Fallah Bahh out. However, Bravo told the referee after the match was over, listen, restart this match. This is not how it's going to go down. And the referee did, and Fallah Bahh is now Johnny Bravo's best man for his wedding. Then we had an interview segment with the X Division champion, Rohit Raju, where he announced that this Saturday he is issuing the Defeat Rohit Challenge at Victory Road. TJP would interrupt the interview segment, saying he wants to be the one to take the challenge. However, Rohit told him that it's not going to be TJP, it's not going to be Trey, and it's not going to be Chris Bay because they all had their opportunities already. So we'll have to wait and see who will answer the Defeat Rohit Challenge coming up this Saturday night at Bound for Glory, or at Victory Road this Saturday night. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, that is pretty much about it. I'll be back with more as far as what segments and matches are concerned. All right, guys, welcome back to some more Impact Recap. We had an Eddie Edwards promo in-ring. He talked about how he was attacked at the end of last week's episode. He wanted to know who it was. He called out Eric Young. However, he would get a surprise as Sami Callihan would interrupt. And Eddie was like, I should have known it was you, Sami. The lights going out and everything. And Sami's like, no, it wasn't him. But he knows who it was. He pushed a button on his phone, and the lights went out. Lights come back on. And who is standing behind Eddie Edwards? None other than the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. So, who proceeded to beat down Eddie Edwards. So, we kind of got an answer to who attacked Eddie at the end of last week's episode. It turned out to be Ken Shamrock. There had been a lot of reports going around as far as one of the matches for Bound for Glory being Eddie Edwards versus Ken Shamrock. Shamrock, when he beat down Eddie, he got him in the ankle lock. So what kind of condition or what kind of shape will Eddie Edwards be in come this Saturday night when he challenges Eric Young for the World Championship? Then we heard from Eric Young after that segment. He basically said that, Eddie apparently has more enemies than friends, and that, he said that Eddie shouldn't even show up Saturday night to Victory Road. Then he turned his attention to Rich Swann, saying that this is all on Scott D'Amore's fault, and he tried to give Rich Swann an out, but it looks like he's going to have to hurt him again at Bound for Glory. So that was pretty much it for that. Then we had a Kylie Rae and Susie backstage segment where Kylie Rae interrupted Susie when Susie was staring in the mirror at herself. She said that Kylie told Susie that she knows Saturday night she's going to beat Deonna for the Knockouts Championship, and it's going to be an honor to face her best friend at Bound for Glory. Kylie Rae said that to Susie for the Knockouts Championship. And then she proceeded to give her a gift, which was a pair of kick pads, which she says, or Kylie Rae gave Susie a pair of kick pads as a gift, saying that this is going to make the difference Saturday night. So, and then Susie, after Kylie Rae left, would look back at the mirror and say, yeah, it is your time. So, right now, the North are battling Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, and this is the main event. So I will be back with my thoughts on this one. So see ya. All right, guys, welcome back. This is going to be the wrap up to this video. The main event was the North taking on Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. Both teams looking to make a statement in the tag team division, heading towards not just this Saturday at Victory Road, but also coming up on October 24th at Bound for Glory. So the matchup between the North and Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, good. The North picked up the win. Then after the match, Gallows and Anderson would come out and everything would break loose. Everything would go down. There would be a brawl between not just the North, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, Gallows and Anderson, but also the Impact Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns. All four teams are battling it out. Obviously, this is probably going to lead to some kind of four-way match with these four teams, for the Tag Team Championships, probably at Bound for Glory. That is one of the rumored matches to be taking place. But, yeah, if that does happen, I hope if that does happen, that looks like that's going to be a really good four-way match involving four really solid tag teams. But, yeah, this week's episode was good, heading into Saturday night to Victory Road, where we found out that last week that Eric Young's going to be defending the world title against Eddie Edwards. We found out tonight that Deonna Purrazzo is going to be putting the Knockouts Championship on the line against Susie. We found out about Dreamer and Brian Myers. We also found out about the Defeat Rohit Challenge featuring the X Division champion Rohit Raju. I'm trying to think what other matches that were booked for that show. Also, Jordan Grace and Tennille Dashwood is going to be taking place this Saturday night at Victory Road on Impact Plus. So yeah, my overall thought on the show tonight was really good. A lot of build-up to not just Saturday night at Victory Road, but also Bound for Glory coming up October 24th. One of the segments I forgot to mention featured Johnny Bravo, Fallah Bahh, Johnny Swinger, and the referee that refereed the match between Swinger and Fallah Bahh. That was really nothing. Bravo basically told him he didn't care which one of them was the best man. So that was pretty much it. So yeah, tonight's episode I thought was good. A lot of build up as far as rivalries are concerned. Looks like we're getting the start of the build up for Shamrock versus Eddie Edwards, as well as the tag teams all jockeying for position to see who's going to challenge the Motor City Machine Guns. And so yeah, so that's pretty much it. This has been my Impact recap and thoughts on tonight's show. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.